Let's get right into it. Number 10. How to sharpen a blade with a coffee mug. Grab any coffee mug and flip it over. That rough, unglazed ring on the bottom is ceramic with the perfect grit for sharpening blades. The ceramic ring is about as coarse as a medium grit sharpening stone. Turn the mug upside down on a flat surface. Hold your knife at about a 20-degree angle against the unglazed ring. Draw the blade across it like you're trying to slice the ring off. Do this about 10 times on each side. Your knife will be sharp enough to slice through a tomato without crushing it. Don't try this with ceramic knives. Those need special treatment. This same trick works with ceramic plates and bowls. Next time you're camping and need to sharpen your pocket knife, flip over your dinner plate. A dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp one. It requires more force, which means more chances to slip and cut yourself. Number 9. The HALT Principle. We've all made decisions we totally regret. Texting an ex at 2 a.m., buying $200 worth of stuff we don't need from Amazon. There's a simple rule that could have saved you from most of these moments. It's called the HALT Principle. HALT stands for hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. When you're any of these things, your brain is running on emergency power mode, like when your phone hits 1% battery. When you're hungry, your blood sugar drops and your brain starts acting like a toddler having a meltdown. Studies show that judges give harsher sentences right before lunch break. Someone might get extra jail time just because the judge needed a sandwich. When you're angry, your brain is literally swimming in stress hormones. It's like trying to drive with someone constantly screaming in your ear. Being lonely is like having your brain's firewall down. That's why you're most likely to text your ex or buy a pet iguana at 3 a.m. Your brain is so desperate for connection it'll approve any bad idea. And being tired makes your brain like a drunk brain without the fun parts. In fact, being awake for 18 hours straight gives you the mental capacity of someone who's legally drunk. That late-night online shopping spree is basically drunk shopping. When you notice you're in any of these states, hit pause. Tell yourself you'll decide this after you eat, sleep, or calm down. It's like having a responsible friend who takes your phone away when you're drunk. Number 8. The jam jar effect. You know that moment when you open Netflix, spend 40 minutes scrolling, then just give up and watch The Office again? Back in 2000, some researchers did this experiment at a grocery store. They set up a jam tasting booth, but here's the twist. They kept switching between showing 6 jams and 24 jams. You'd think more options would be better. When they had 24 jams, only 3% of people actually bought any jam. But when they only showed 6 jams, that number jumped to 30%. That's the jam jar effect, or as scientists call it, choice overload. Your brain literally starts to malfunction when it has too many options. It's like when you're at a restaurant with one of those menu books that's thicker than your high school yearbook. You start reading it, then your brain goes into panic mode, and suddenly you're questioning every life choice that led you to this moment, and you end up ordering the same thing you always get. Your brain uses up energy every time it makes a decision. It's like your brain has a battery, and each choice drains it a little. When you have too many options, your brain's battery dies, and you end up in decision paralysis. That's why Steve Jobs wore the same black turtleneck every day. That's why Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray t-shirt. They're not trying to be weird. They're saving their brain power for bigger decisions. Start limiting your choices. Pick 3 restaurants for takeout instead of scrolling through the entire DoorDash app. Have a few go-to outfits instead of staring at your closet every morning like it's going to reveal the meaning of life. The less time you spend deciding what to watch, wear, or eat, the more brain power you'll have for things that actually matter. Number 7. The Ben Franklin mind control. If you want someone to like you, most people try to do favors for that person. Turns out that's completely wrong. The real trick is getting them to do a favor for you. When someone does you a favor, their brain has to justify why they helped you, and the easiest way for their brain to explain it is they must like you. Ben Franklin actually discovered this. He had this political rival who absolutely hated him. So Franklin asked to borrow a rare book from his rival's library. The guy agreed, and something weird happened. After lending Franklin the book, this guy who used to hate him suddenly started being friendly, because his brain had to make sense of why he'd helped someone he supposedly hated. Scientists tested this out in a study. They had people win money in a competition. Then, some of these winners were asked by the researcher to return their prize money as a personal favor. The people who were asked to give back their money ended up liking the researcher more than the people who kept their winnings. Their brains went, I gave them my money, I must really like them. But the favor has to be small enough that they'll actually do it. If you ask for something too big, they'll just say no and probably like you even less. Ask them if you can borrow a pen. or ask for their opinion on something. Their brain will do the rest of the work for you. Number 6. The Pre-Mortem Technique. Imagine you're about to start a diet. You're super motivated, you've got your meal plan ready, and you're sure this time it's gonna work. Instead of being optimistic, time travel to 3 months from now. Your diet has failed miserably. You're sitting on your couch, surrounded by empty pizza boxes, feeling like a failure. Now figure out what went wrong. Every time your coworker brings donuts to the office, you cave. You always order takeout when you work late because you're too tired to cook. Your girlfriend keeps surprising you with your favorite ice cream because she's trying to be nice. This is the pre-mortem technique. It's like being your own time-traveling detective, solving the crime before it happens. You're spotting the landmines before you step on them. Now you can plan ahead. Keep healthy snacks at your desk for donut days. Meal prep on weekends for those late work nights. Have a heart-to-heart with your girlfriend about supporting your health goals. This works for anything big. Starting a business. Imagine it failed and work backwards. Moving in with someone. Picture the relationship exploding and figure out why. Planning a wedding. Imagine everything that could go catastrophically wrong. It's like having a GPS that shows you all the traffic accidents before you leave your house. It might seem dark to imagine failure before you even start, but it's better than driving straight into a pileup because you were too optimistic to see the red flags. Once you've spotted all the ways things could go wrong, they're way less likely to actually happen. It's like vaccinating your plans against failure. You're giving them a tiny dose of disaster so they build up immunity to the real thing. Number 5. Reframing anxiety as excitement. Your heart's racing right before a big presentation. Your palms are sweaty. Your stomach's doing backflips. Your body feels exactly the same way when you're super excited about something. Before going on a roller coaster, you had the same racing heart, the same butterfly stomach. Anxiety and excitement are basically identical twins in your body. The only difference is the story your brain is telling you about those feelings. Scientists found you can trick your brain into relabeling these feelings. Instead of thinking, "I'm so nervous about this presentation," say out loud, "I'm excited about this presentation." When you're anxious, you're in what scientists call a threat mindset. Your brain hits the panic button. Danger. Run away. When you're excited, you're in an opportunity mindset. Your brain is like, hey, something cool might happen here. Both states give you the same energy boost, but excitement lets you use that energy instead of fighting against it. Trying to calm down when you're anxious usually doesn't work, about as well as trying to fall asleep by telling yourself, "I need to sleep right now." Going from high anxiety to calm is like slamming on the brakes while going 80 miles per hour. But switching from anxiety to excitement is just changing lanes. Same speed, different direction. This works even if you don't believe it at first. Your brain is pretty gullible when it comes to this stuff. It's like that friend who believes everything they read on the internet. Just tell it what to think and it'll usually go along with it. Number 4. How to fall asleep in 2 minutes. The US military had this problem. Their soldiers couldn't sleep during war. Imagine trying to doze off while explosions are going off in the background. So they developed this technique that lets you fall asleep in 2 minutes flat. It worked so well that even pilots could use it while sitting up in the cockpit. 96% of people who master this technique can drift off in under 120 seconds. First, relax your face muscles. Your face has 43 muscles, and they're probably tenser than your relationship with your ex right now. Start with your forehead, then your eyes, your cheeks, and your jaw. Let it all go loose like a puppet whose strings just got cut. Drop your shoulders as low as they can go. Then relax your arms, one at a time. Feel the tension leaving your upper arms, then your forearms, then your hands. Your arms should feel like wet noodles hanging from your shoulders. Breathe out slowly and relax your chest. Then move down to your legs. Feel them getting heavy, like they're sinking into quicksand. Clear your mind for 10 seconds. Stop thinking about that embarrassing thing you did in 3rd grade. Stop planning tomorrow's lunch. Picture one of these 3 things. You're lying in a canoe on a calm lake with blue sky above you. Or you're snuggled in a black velvet hammock in a dark room. Or you just say, "Don't think, don't think, don't think," over and over. The military found that after 6 weeks of practice, this worked even in the most stressful conditions, like actual war zones, or your in-laws' house during the holidays. You have to practice it every night for it to work. It's like going to the gym. You can't do it once and expect to look like Thor. Number 3. The power of because. Human brains are basically programmed to say yes when they hear the word because. In 1978, a researcher named Ellen Langer did an experiment at a library. She had people try to cut in line at the copy machine using 3 different phrases. The first was, "Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the Xerox machine?" About 60% of people said yes. Then she tried, "Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the Xerox machine because I'm in a rush?" This time, 94% said yes. She also tried, "Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the Xerox machine because I need to make copies?" This reason is completely stupid. 93% of people still said yes. Just adding the word because, even with a nonsense reason, made people almost twice as likely to say yes. There's a weird glitch in our brains where we hear because and just stop thinking critically. This works everywhere. At work, with friends, even with kids. "Can you help me move this couch because I need to vacuum under it? Can I borrow your pen because I need to write something? Can we get ice cream because it's Wednesday?" Your reason doesn't even need to make sense. The word because does all the heavy lifting. This is exactly why scammers and con artists always have a story ready. They know we're hardwired to accept any explanation that starts with because. Number 2, the 5-minute hostage negotiation. So you're having an argument with someone, and they're getting more heated than a microwave burrito. Most people's first instinct is to fight back or try to prove they're right, but that's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Hostage negotiators do something different, and it works like magic. They use something called labeling. It's super simple. You just say out loud what the other person is feeling. Like, "It seems like you're really frustrated right now," or "It sounds like you feel nobody's listening to you." You might think this would make them angrier. Like, "Of course I'm frustrated, Captain Obvious." But it actually calms people down faster than a tranquilizer dart. When you label someone's emotions, their brain literally can't stay as angry. It's like their anger is a browser with 100 tabs open, and labeling helps close them all at once. When you accurately label someone's emotions, their amygdala, which is the brain's panic button, actually calms down. It's like their brain goes from, "I'm going to flip this table," to, "Oh, okay, they get it." But you can't be sarcastic about it. If you say, "Oh, I see you're having a little temper tantrum," that's like poking an angry bear with a stick while wearing a meat costume. The key is to be genuine and neutral, like a nature documentary narrator describing a situation. Real hostage negotiators use this technique to talk people down from literal life or death situations. If it works on someone threatening to blow up a bank, it'll probably work on your angry roommate who's mad about the dishes. Number 1, the bystander effect override. You're having a heart attack in a crowded place. Everyone around you sees what's happening, but you might die because everyone assumes someone else will help. This is called the bystander effect, and it's killed more people than sharks. When there's a crowd, everyone's brain goes, "Oh, someone else will definitely help," and then nobody helps because everyone's thinking the same thing. But there's a psychological hack that can override this effect. Instead of yelling, "Someone help," or "Call 911, you need to pick one specific person, point directly at them, make eye contact, and give them a specific task. "You in the red shirt, call 911 right now." This breaks their brain out of the "someone else will do it" loop. Now they're personally responsible. Their brain can't pass the buck anymore. This works because humans are weird. We'll watch someone die in a crowd, thinking surely someone else will help. But the moment someone puts us personally on the spot, we snap into action. This hack works even better if you assign different tasks to different people. You in the blue jacket, come hold his legs. You with the glasses, keep everyone else back. Suddenly you've turned a useless crowd into an emergency response team. This works even if you're the victim. If you're having a heart attack, don't just collapse dramatically hoping someone will help. Point at specific people, give specific orders. Then you can have your dramatic collapse, knowing help is actually on the way. In an emergency, don't trust the crowd. Pick your helpers. Make it personal, because sometimes the difference between life and death is just knowing how people's brains work. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.